So the first foundation I have is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. This is probably one of my favorite drugstore foundations of all time. It is a matte and poreless foundation. It has really great coverage. I wouldn't say it's full coverage, I'd say it's a medium buildable for sure. And it dries down so beautifully on your skin, and the best part about it is it's only $7 and it's amazing. It honestly beats some of my higher end foundations by like a long way. So I really recommend getting the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. The next foundation I have is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. As you can tell, it is a matte foundation. It's a 24-hour foundation type of thing. I have two shades of this because I got a really dark one that was super orange on me, so I had to go like the lightest one. So yeah, this is really beautiful. It gives a nice full coverage look to it. I even have like cried in this foundation before, and it literally hasn't ruined my makeup at all. It's really long wearing, lasts so long. And they come in a pretty good shade range. I think they could expand way more, but for now it's pretty good. So yeah, I'd recommend getting this one as well. The next two foundations I have here are both by the company Rimmel. So I have the Rimmel Stay Matte, which is like a really thick mousse kind of texture. Then I have the Rimmel Lasting Finish, which is more like a liquidy, thick consistency. They both last pretty long. I haven't really used the mousse one in a while because it's just, I don't really like mousse textures that much. I like more liquid stuff like this one. And this one is a 25-hour wear, so more than the L'Oreal one, but that's debatable on what primers and setting sprays and everything else you use. But this one is really nice. The only thing I could say bad about it is it smells like paint. But also some of my higher end foundations have that same thing, which is kind of just weird how brands do that. But these two are really good foundations if you are on a budget and you don't want to spend that much. So they're great. My last drugstore foundation is the Maybelline Age View One foundation. You may find this really similar because their concealer is basically the same packaging as this, just very, very smaller. And this gives a really light to medium coverage. It's really just gives a nice even skin tone and just helps even out your face. And I do like this, like I like the L'Oreal True Match Lumi for just a no makeup day, just a really nice even coverage. And it's very affordable as well. I think it's around $12 or so, a little less than Maybelline. I mean, a little more than the Maybelline one, but it's a really good foundation as well. So I'd get. The foundation I have is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation. They have the L'Oreal True Match just True Match foundation, then they have the Infallible foundation line as well. But the Lumi one is most likely my favorite because it is a very light coverage and it gives a really luminous glow to it, but it's so nice for those like no makeup days where you just don't want to wear a lot of coverage and stuff. You just want to throw something on to even out your skin tone. This is the perfect foundation for that. And it also comes with SPF 20, which is really nice if you're on vacation. This is probably one of the best foundations I would take for that. So yeah, the L'Oreal Lumi Foundation. So moving on to more of my higher end foundations, this is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. This is such a talked about foundation because it's like a cult favorite. It's probably one of MAC's best foundations in my opinion. It's a medium to buildable coverage, I would say. I actually have, I think, the lightest shades, NC15. They have NC, then NW, and Neutral, and all that other stuff. But another thing about this foundation is it does smell like paint again. That's just something I guess companies do, but it's not the most pleasing to put on your face. But it is a really nice foundation, and it's, I think, $27, which is pretty good for a high-end foundation, saying some of my other foundations are way more expensive. And this was my first foundation I actually ever got, which is kind of like old memory, so that's why I really do enjoy it. The next foundation I have is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This is probably one of my favorite foundations ever. It literally makes you look like you were born this way. It comes in a lovely pump, as you can see, and it gives a really nice medium to buildable coverage, and it's amazing. Like, it has coconut oil infused in it, and I love their coconut Hangover Primer as well. That's probably one of my favorites, so I like to pair these together when I'm doing this look, and I think it's really a great foundation if you don't want a lot of cakey coverage on your face. If you guys saw my video, I did a first impressions on the Kat Von D Locket Tattoo foundation, and ever since I've been using this nonstop. You can even see like I'm getting like a lot of use out of it, but like I'm using a lot of it. And yeah, I've only had this for about a few weeks and I'm in love with it. The coverage is literally outstanding. It's 24-hour wear, it's full coverage, it's a matte finish, it's a really beautiful foundation. It sits so nicely on your skin, but it doesn't make you look cakey. And that is something that is so hard to find in so many foundations because they seep into those dry patches and in your crease lines, and it just gets so annoying, but this one does not. And it is a very beautiful foundation. They have like over 30 shades of this, so if you can't find your shade, then that's not good because they have so many shades, so you should be able to. I'd recommend getting this one. As they all say, save the best for last, but I'm going to save the most expensive for last. This is the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation. It comes in this really heavy, like, blown glass little container. You pop it off and it's kind of like in a pill shape, and then you have to, oh gosh, you twist it off basically, and it comes in a little dropper. Not a dropper, it's like a little like ball stick thing you just like dot on your face, because they recommend you only use a few dots on your face because it is literally that full coverage. And I can't use it alone, so I usually mix it with like the Too Faced one or like my MAC Studio Fix or something like that, because it literally is so full coverage. And I did buy this online, so the shade match isn't perfect, so I have to do a little bit of mixing and stuff. But overall, this foundation is really great, but it is expensive. I think it is about $55. But it makes sense because it's Marc Jacobs, it's a luxury brand, and he does make good clothing and designing and bags and stuff as well, so it makes sense. But if you guys are willing to splurge on this, I would most definitely do so.